Hey everyone, Sanjeev here, and welcome to a journey that delves into the heart of a complex issue, the impact of Western intellectual subversion on India. Now, before you think this is just another history lesson, trust me, it's so much more than dates and names. It's about understanding the very fabric of a nation, its identity, and how it navigates the currents of global influence. Today, we'll explore how Western ideas and educational systems influenced various aspects of Indian society. Imagine a society where ancient wisdom and traditions were suddenly confronted with new, seemingly progressive ideologies. That's what India experienced, and the ripples of that encounter are still felt today. This isn't about pointing fingers, but about understanding the deep, often invisible threads that connect culture, history, and the human experience. So buckle up as we unpack this intricate narrative, exploring the challenges, transformations, and ultimately the resilience of Indian culture. Let's rewind a bit. Picture India under British rule. The sun never sets on the British Empire, right? But empires aren't just built on military might, they're built on ideas. The British implemented an education system designed to create a class of Indians who were, well, more British than Indian. We're talking about prioritizing English language, literature, and Western philosophy, while pushing traditional Indian knowledge systems to the sidelines. This wasn't just about textbooks, it was about shaping minds. Imagine growing up learning that Shakespeare was the pinnacle of literature, while the ancient epics of your own culture were deemed mythology. This created a disconnect, a sense of cultural schizophrenia, if you will, that continues to echo even today. So, what happens when you're taught to value another culture's achievements above your own? A sense of cultural alienation can set in. This isn't just about feeling disconnected, it's about internalizing a belief that your own culture is somehow inferior. Imagine the internal struggle of a young Indian student excelling in British education but feeling like a stranger in their own land. This alienation wasn't just personal, it had profound societal impacts, leading some to outright reject their heritage, while others grappled to find a balance between tradition and the allure of the modern West. Now, it wasn't all doom and gloom. Western intellectual thought wasn't a monolithic force, and it's crucial to remember that many Indian thinkers and leaders engaged with these ideas critically, adapting them to the Indian context. Thinkers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and B.R. Ambedkar come to mind. They saw the value in certain Western concepts like democracy and individual liberty, but also recognized the need to reconcile these with India's own rich philosophical traditions. This sparked a fascinating intellectual ferment, a period of intense debate and reinterpretation, as India sought to define its own path to modernity. Chapter 4, From Fields to Factories, the Economic Face of Subversion. Okay, let's talk economics. British rule brought with it the steam engine of capitalism, and India, once a land of thriving agrarian communities, found itself increasingly entangled in the gears of global trade. This wasn't just about economic policy, it was about fundamentally altering social structures. Traditional crafts and industries were often undermined, while a new class of Indian elites emerged, closely tied to the colonial power structure. This economic transformation, while bringing some advancements, also led to widespread poverty, exploitation, and the erosion of self-sufficiency. Chapter 5, Lost in Translation. Language, identity, and power. You know what they say, language is power. And in colonial India, English became the language of power, the key to social mobility and access to opportunities. This wasn't just about communication, it was about shaping perceptions of status and prestige. Imagine a society where speaking English fluently could elevate your social standing, while your mother tongue became associated with backwardness. This linguistic hierarchy continues to have a profound impact on Indian society, influencing everything from education to employment opportunities. Chapter 6, Reclaiming the Narrative. The Rise of Indian Reform Movements. But wait, there's another layer to this story. The experience of Western intellectual subversion wasn't passive. It ignited a firestorm of reform movements across India. Thinkers, reformers, and activists rose to challenge the colonial narrative, to reclaim their cultural heritage, and to forge a new path for India. From the Brahmo Samaj to the Arya Samaj, these movements sought to revive the best of Indian tradition while also selectively incorporating Western ideas. It was a delicate balancing act, a tightrope walk between preserving cultural identity and embracing modernity. Chapter 7. The legacy lives on navigating modern India. Fast forward to post-independence India. The British may have left, but their intellectual legacy, well, it's a bit more complicated. India today grapples with the ongoing influence of Western intellectual subversion in its institutions, education system, and even in its popular culture. The challenge lies in striking a balance, how to embrace the positive aspects of globalization and modernity without losing sight of India's own rich cultural heritage. It's a conversation, a debate, a constant process of self-discovery that continues to shape the India of today. Outro: Unwriting Subversion, a journey of rediscovery. So, as we wrap up this exploration, remember that the story of Western intellectual subversion in India isn't a simple one. It's a story of challenges, yes, but also of resilience, adaptation, and the constant redefinition of what it means to be Indian in a globalized world. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Western intellectual subversion in India. It's a topic that often gets swept under the rug, but by bringing it to light, by understanding its nuances, we can better appreciate the complexities of cultural exchange and the enduring spirit of a nation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep those brain synapses firing.